Hey everybody, Dmitriy here with Serg Supply, and as today's how-to series, we're actually going to cover how to wire your puck lights, your dimmer kits, explain everything in between. So without further ado, let's dig right in. First, we're going to start it off with the dimmer kits. If you purchased any of our dimmer kits, they come in a couple different options, different buttons, different inputs, outputs, and you can purchase puck lights to come with them. But I just want to explain a few technical details. So for each of our dimmers, there are going to be 2 leads coming out of each side, 4 wires total. There's going to be input wires and output wires. These are all labeled. The grounds have a dark stripe in them. The hot wires do not. In case I got that backwards, I'm sorry. Input wires are the longer ones. Output wires are the shorter ones. And at the time of filming, we actually also released black dimmers too, so the wire color might be different. Just read the labels for input, output. It is important. A few technical details. These dimmer buttons are only one way, so you're not going to do 3-way dimming with these. That's first and foremost. Second, they are a 5 amp maximum per button. So if you count your number of lights or your loads, then you can make sure that they are less than 5 amp per button. If it exceeds, you might want to spread it across buttons, but it's very important not to do more than 5 amps per button. If all of the lights you're running on this do not exceed 5 amps, well, you can run one common power supply. But if each button's going to do close to 5 amps or maybe exceed, I'd recommend something like this. It doesn't come with a kit. This is an inline fuse that lets you just put a fuse in line. I don't know, not much to say about that. 5 amp is the golden number here. As far as installation, cutting this out in the wall is great. I would just measure like a 1 inch by however wide this is. I think on this one's about 3.5. And cut a square out because you want to be able to pull this out of the wall later to service it. Let's talk a little bit about these ends now. Whether your ends come with connectors or if they just come with wagos, I see on this kit we've actually done a fair bit of connecting to make things a little easier. But on some of the dimmer buttons, it's just plastic clips on the back, and those guys I like to just pull apart, break off, whatever, strip the wires and use something like a spade connector or a wago. And then you're just left. Start with one button at a time, shall we? Here are my inputs. I have a black stripe, actually going to be really hard to see, but the ground has a black stripe. So remember that, save it for later. I actually don't want to wire it to my power source just yet. I want to do the output first, which is a great time for me to piggyback into our puck lights. Let's talk about those. So our puck lights come in packs of 6. They look like this. If you're worried or concerned about the power use of these are 0.25 amp maximum per puck light. So you can do the math, 0.25, how many of those will fit in 5 amps? I'm not a mathematician, but that's about 20 pucks. You shouldn't do that much. I wouldn't recommend more than 12 per button, but technically it can handle more. So 0.25 amps each, and they do come with these connectors right here. These ones I would keep on because we do include this connecting ballast. It will take up to 6 of these. Now you can go crazy and just cut these and do your own connection, or you can be lazy like me and actually use this ballast. Now the one thing I do remove from here is this connector here. I'm going to use this wire stripper to break this clip off, and now we got these 2 leads right here. Of course you can strip them, crimp them, put ferrules or whatever. One thing to note, very important here, is that your blue is your ground and your brown is your hot wire. So I'm going to go to my output on my dimmer real quick. I'm going to take my ground wago and I will shove the blue in there. Take my live or hot wire and put it in here, and now my outputs are good to go. It's a great time for me to take my power source, which in this case, thank you Milwaukee, 12-volt battery with a fuse in it, and I'll put my ground into ground and my hot into hot. And with some luck, we have a dim blue light on here. Let me explain what those mean real quick. So to work a dimmer, you tap once to turn it on. Look at that. It's working. Sorry for the camera. Tap and hold to dim it. Tap and hold to dim the other way. The speed of your dimming may change depending on the button you get. Now, this blue light might be annoying at night. If you just double tap, the blue light turns off, but the function still works. So if you have no blue lights and your light still works, don't freak out. Nothing's wrong. Just give it a double tap, take it out of night mode. So the cool thing about this, now that it's wired up and I can show you, is this ballast will accept multiple puck lights. So I can do all 6 on here and go crazy, or if you're really feeling wild, you can actually take a different type of wago, like a triple lever wago, and you can connect multiple ballasts to one source. How does this look practically? Well, let's say I have a Sprinter 170 ceiling kit. I have 12 puck lights built into it, and I've got 2 ballasts. Well, I want to do a front zone and a rear zone. So what I'll do is I'll wire the front 6 to this ballast, wire the rear 6 to this ballast, and run them to separate buttons. Or if I want to run all 12 on one, well, we know 12 times 0.25 amps is, 1 amp is 3 amps, 3 amps of power. There we go. So the button's going to handle it just fine. I don't recommend using this for anything but dimmers or puck lights, by the way. But that kind of explains how that works. Let's take it a step back. I want to talk a little bit more about this wiring. If you purchased a full build wiring kit or you've had us make some of your wire, likely it looks like this. This is similar to a wire that we would run for a dimmer. I'm just gonna go crazy and I'm gonna wire it in line here real quick. It's typically 14 gauge to the dimmer and then 16 gauge back out to the wires. Again, 5 amps. This is not high current stuff, quick and easy, but I wanna walk you through a scenario where maybe, just maybe, let's pretend this is a double dimmer, okay? This dimmer doesn't exist. We've got 2 buttons here, and we are lazy people, and we do not want to run a bunch of extra cabling. So you can basically splice these together, but here I can run the power source to 2 different buttons from 1 wire, and so now both of these dimmers actively have power. I'm not gonna mess with them because I've got exposed wire and I'm gonna blow a fuse, but generally speaking, that is how that works. Now let's talk about the puck lights installation, things like that. This has a 5.5 foot length wire run on it. If it's just not long enough for you, you're more than welcome to extend this. I'd recommend 18 gauge or up, maybe even up to 20, 22 gauge will work just fine. At 0.25 amps, we're not really worried about voltage drop and the risk is relatively low. But recently we released these black bezels, which may be standard at some point. I just wanted to show you to replace those, quite literally just unscrew this. This will come out. There's your LED puck light internal assembly. We're gonna transfer the cap. Oh, this is the wrong side. There we go. Transfer the cap into the new bezel. And then we can just screw it right back in place. And believe it or not, folks, you can actually do this in any Serg Supply ceiling panel kit. You don't have to uninstall the ceiling to get to this. Installation of the puck lights. If you have one of our ceiling kits, there's already going to be a cutout. It's 2 1/8 inch diameter, and it can be tight. I already have the wire run and connected in here, and to get this puck light in place, all you need to do is hold a firm flat hand on the top of the puck and give it a good push. It locks in. Some materials are tighter than others. It doesn't take anything other than that. The springs they'll push outwards and keep the thing in place. And one last little feature worth noting, if you bought upgraded bezels, you do not have to uninstall everything to put them on. So in this case, I'm gonna take out this filler piece, actually what do you call it? Dissipating screen. I don't know, come up with some fancy scientific word for plastic. And I can take my new bezel that's black instead of aluminum, and it takes a little bit of alignment here, but bam, there you go. You can screw that bezel in place. These do rattle loose if you don't tighten them all the way down, so do tighten them all the way down. You can even add Loctite if you don't think you're gonna change it, but totally replaceable and serviceable without removing your ceiling kit. And again, if you are using our puck lights in your own ceiling kit, your own wall kit, drilling it into panels, that's totally fine. Just drill your hole out to 2 1/8 inch diameter, and you should be good to go. There's everything you need to know about using our puck lights, our dimmers, how to connect them, how to install them, and some general safety tips. If you have any questions, comments, or want to pick up any of these products for your build, click the link below, explore the product listings. We'd love getting in touch with you. Thanks so much, and happy building.